Many thanks for keeping it here on Morning at 10 TV. We shall be going straight, or rather into the nitty-gritty, the detail, the drama of the elections today. A little bit later, that should be in under 30 minutes. Our Kickstarter will be beginning. But now, let's take note of the Empowering Women in Insurance movement. There is something that is going on, and we'll be talking about that, the challenges that they face, including that iconic exam they have to undertake. Some elements say women are dealing with so much, so that achieving that particular certification becomes a little bit of a problem. Well, we shall understand exactly why. Joining me for the discussion is Cindy Kunkuda. She's a portfolio manager at ICEA LION Asset Management. You're most welcome to Morning at 10 TV.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Great.
First and foremost, before I delve into how the women in insurance are being empowered or need to be empowered, who is Cindy Kunkuda, away from the portfolio manager designation?
Okay, so I have to first speak about that because it's a real significant part of my life.
That's right.
So I am part of the ICEA LION Asset Management investment team. I've been entrusted with the role of portfolio manager. ICEA manages 10.8 trillion Uganda shillings in East Africa. The bulk of it sits in Kenya. That's our headquarters. And then 900 billion sits in Uganda. Before joining ICEA, I worked in the banking industry where I was trading in foreign exchange, government securities and derivatives. And that has really shaped who I am today because I'm passionate about it. And what really ignited my passion is helping my parents navigate their retirement. So since then, I've really been on the path of helping families achieve their retirement dreams. So outside work, Cindy is someone who likes to travel, to dance. And I must mention I'm a wife and I'm a mother of a lovely 2-year-old. So in a nutshell, that's Cindy Kunkuda.
Oh, interesting there. The reason I asked that question was your inspiration, especially that was triggered by the need to help your parents around the retirement aspect. But that is one thing that, of course, we shall be delving in. But the theme of the month, women. What is it for women in insurance, including the opportunities, the challenges, but also the mere fact that the boundaries that have long been understood to bar many women from achieving certain aspects, either in politics, economics, business, now for this particular case, business, are beginning to break down, and women are breaking through and, like some people love to say, smashing the glass ceiling. I say ripping the roof off. How is it for women in insurance?
Okay, one of the first challenges we've seen, there are not so many insurance companies and fund managers in Uganda. So what does that mean? The job opportunities are actually scarce. If there are scarce job opportunities, that means people are not being promoted frequently, people are not moving. So that's one of the natural challenges that come in. And as a woman in the workplace, you find yourself, you have to do 3 times what a man does in order to reach the same level. The reason for that is we have other things that we juggle on the side, for example, motherhood, wife duties, running a home. It's something that really we have to deal with, at the same time show up at the workplace and give it 100%. So that's what I would say.
Okay. So within that, I'm sure there are opportunities for continuous learning and professional mentorship. One that should be able to deal with the challenges that come as a result of those extra aspects that might hinder you from achieving what you want to achieve, like your male counterparts would want. How is the mentorship and the professional learning process like?
Okay, first of all, it starts with you as a woman. What your mindset is. You have to believe in your capabilities and your abilities. You have to shut out the noise out there that's telling you you can't do it, so that you are able to do it. So once that is in check, the external factors like mentorship, fellow women in the industry that have made it can share a few or 2 tips on how they've made it and how they've got to where they have. And the good thing with women in the financial industry, women are known for being more financially responsible actually. So this is actually a space for them to really shine
Okay.
We're good at making financially sound decisions.
Interesting. You must be very good ministers of finance. Everyone should look out for that. The reason I'm interested in this particular story is that you're managing a portfolio of $240 million.
Yes.
And this runs across equities, government securities, and fixed deposits. Take us through that.
Okay, so that's about 900 billion Uganda shillings. Most of that money is in fixed deposits, government securities, and also equities, or you can call them stocks or shares. So that money belongs to various products. We have retirement benefit schemes. So in your workplace, if you don't have a provident fund, it's good to pitch that to your employer to have that, and have ICEA LION Asset Management manage it. Then we also manage insurance money. It's part of the 900 billion that we manage. And we have the unit trust. Our flagship product of the unit trust is the ICEA LION Money Market Fund that has very competitive returns for our clients. So that's how that money is managed.
Okay. And what's the landscape like in the process of doing the best you do for your client? Because many times when we hear about equities and investments in all these things, there is a fear for the average Ugandan that what if I lose money? But we know wealth creation, especially in the West, is heavily invested in equities and many of these financial vehicles. How has it been entrenching this particular wealth creation model?
So our model it's tailored to our clients' needs. Different clients have different levels of risk tolerance. We all don't have the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And we are all at different stages of our life. There are those that have just started out working in the early careers. There are those that are heading closer towards retirement. So the asset allocation that we give those two different categories of people has to differ. Someone in earlier careers can take on higher risk. You'll find their portfolio will hold more of stocks because they have enough time to recover from any market downturns. While someone that's close to retirement, they have to increase their quantities in government securities that are safe and fixed deposits so that they're able to go through retirement without any volatility. So that's the approach we use. It's tailored, and we have our clients do interviews and assessments before we actually invest their money. Yes.
All right. When you hear about volatility, equities, and all these things, bonds, the average Ugandan is always lost.
Yes.
What is the bond? What is the equity? What is the securities? And how does it play about? If, for example, you have a modest 1 million Uganda shillings, what can you do with that within the space within which you're working?
So I'll start off by saying there's nothing like money is too little to start off. Just start and understand how these assets work, and then you'll be motivated to reach your end goal. So start with the end in mind. What do you want to achieve at the end of the month? Then work backwards, saving towards that while investing at the same time. So one of the avenues most people are picking interest on is government securities. So that are the treasury bonds and bills.
And bills, yeah.
In summary, it's a loan to the government of Uganda. So you're lending out your money to the government of Uganda, and they pay you a fixed interest rate. So government securities are considered as risk-free because the chances of the government of Uganda defaulting are very, very minimal. And sometimes you would rather lend out to the government of Uganda rather than the average Ugandan because of their debt profile. They have a better debt profile as the government of Uganda. We've all seen those people in our circles we've lent out to, and the money doesn't come back. Yes.
All right. Now, for the women who might want to break through in insurance, of course, they also come with a mindset problem that is attributed to insurance and how things work. I'm sure there's been effort over the few years past to ensure that people understand that insurance is actually for their good, no doubt. But the average woman needs a lot more information than is available right now. And I think the avenues could be one of the hindering factors that the corporate world, insurance world maybe, is looking too much at the corporate woman, and a little attention is given to the mom and pop shops owners across the country. Is there a deliberate effort to bring them on board?
Yes, there is a deliberate effort to bring them on board. We have products that are tailored towards women, and we know women depend mainly on men for provision. but we've sensitized them on what happens if the life of the person that's the provider is gone, or if they get a disability. We have policies for disability, life assurance, and then also, let's say if there's job loss, you should have a backup plan, and that's mainly in the financial assets. So that's why I come into the asset management side and invest in the unit trusts. So that's the plan. We've been running with a campaign of what's your plan, and that's how we've been sensitizing people, bringing it to a very personal story that works for them. So the everyday woman needs insurance. Everyone needs insurance. Especially when you're young, you're actually the best candidate for life assurance because you have a long time to retire, and the premium is not as expensive as someone that's about to retire, because for them the risk is higher because they're older. So in summary, I would like to say that the women of every day has to be insured, and we have various products for them, and we're trying to open up their eyes to see that this is an area they need to pay attention to for continuity. Look at the COVID-19 pandemic. Most of us lost loved ones. If you had life insurance in stock, you wouldn't be toiling on this earth wondering where the next.
Okay, Ms. Kunkuda, what is the future now? Of course, there's a lot of optimism. If what you say is anything to go by, people should be able to advance careers, leverage on networks that are available, but most importantly, the advocacy in supporting the next female leaders in business must be more intentional than what we see. What's the future like? What's your projection?
So the future is we're seeing more and more women being part of these boards. For example, companies are being deliberate about having women representing on their executive teams, board of directors. There are some positions that are only for women where they target that we need a female to take on this position. So we're seeing that coming up. And there are some companies, especially ICEA LION Asset Management, that's very flexible. Flexible hours for women who are nursing babies, and there's maternity leave and flexibility of working from home. We are yet to have a lactation room that's in the pipeline. So those are the ways we're really supporting the women in our organizations.
All right, thank you very much. Cindy Kunkuda, a portfolio manager at ICEA LION Asset Management, for that emboldening aspect or perspective on investing, finance, but most importantly, how women in leadership can leverage on what insurance does offer. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That will do it for our Take Note. And